What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if they celebrate it anywhere else in the world, but we sure celebrate everything here in the United States. And so, yeah, the luck of the Irish, as they say. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Um, we're going to take a look at the truthflation number here. And we're also going to take a look at the market, see what's going on. There really isn't much except for the ups and downs. Then I'll give you guys a little bit of my thoughts on what I think is happening with the market. And yeah, so the truthflation numbers actually has picked up a little bit. When we were looking at what the inflation number was gonna be last Wednesday, that number was somewhere around here, okay, which was like 1.35 ish. And so now we're seeing it's kind of ticking back up a little bit, but still this data, the US government doesn't, or not the US government, but the Fed itself, they're like about 30 to 45 days behind. So they were, giving these numbers around here, okay, from like January 16th. So at some point in time, we're going to start seeing these dips, hopefully, right? And that should be able to paint one picture. But then there's also here on X, they were saying how, what was it? Polymarket is betting 100% that I think there's gonna be a rate cut or something like that. Because I guess the fact that things are not going exactly good for the market, there's a possibility that they are going to be forced to end the quantitative tightening, and with that we should be able to get quantitative easing. So we will see. Let's refresh this. Still here we are in fear and nowhere near altcoin season. And now we're seeing Bitcoin trying to go up a little bit again to the $84,000 mark. Ethereum is doing a nice little move here. Okay, and let's take a look at the memes. And Pepe having a nice move today. Let's see what else. This Cheems, don't know what that is, but 35% in the green, not bad. 52% in the last week, which is pretty good. And what else do we have up here? I don't know what that is. Mubarak, almost 100% practically. These are the type of things, right? We see this, and then hours later, now they don't even wait like a day or two or a week or a month. Few hours, this thing goes ahead and drops. I'm not saying that's going to happen with this one particularly, but there's so many rug pulls that I don't trust absolutely anything. Let's go home. What is it? Not sure. GigaChat still not doing too bad in the last 7 days. 53%, doing pretty good. Here we got another one. Dog and me. What is this? No idea. Apu, not doing too bad. Almost 93% in the green in the last 7 days. That's very nice. Got NPC here also with a 49% the last 7 days. And Sundog Quag, and then here we have Pepecoin. I mean, Pepecoin not doing too bad actually, with 28% in the green in the last 7 days. So it's nice. It's going up little by little, little by little, little by little. It's doing its thing of moving on up. So let's click on it. Let's take a look at it, and let's see. There's anything? No. Nothing there. All right. So let's take a look at some of the other tokens. Buoy down 5%. Chunk pretty much flat. Okay. Still doing okay. GameStop has been on a up and up because who was it? I don't know if it was the brother-in-law of the CEO of GameStop was shilling this. Let's take a look at it, because I think it was, who was it? FBB4? Yeah, I think it was FBB4 that posted something, and then who was it? Let's see. No. Yeah, it was somebody. Yeah, so the whole thing is that this is little by little getting closer and closer to that CEO of GameStop, and yeah, that may be a complete. It may bring GameStop to some crazy heights, and still at $37 million. That's crazy. 10x puts it at what, $370 million, and so practically about a 30x from where it's at right now. We put it at around 1 billion. So that's actually a pretty nice hold if GameStop does end up hitting 1 billion. And some folks are thinking that it could hit even more than that. So maybe I have a little bit of GameStop. Maybe I should add a little bit more, because it is looking like there's going to be a nice run there. And we have Base AI. Base AI also went up, down, little by little keeps going up. A fully diluted value of $26.6 million. This is a complete steal. Okay, it's my opinion. And somebody also on X was saying that, the Pepecoin team, they were saying that the Base AI team is working on some upgrades and some fixes and some things. We don't necessarily know when exactly those are going to be rolled out, but apparently they are working on a few things for the next release. And Kekistan is still down a little bit, not too much. Let's see if there is a trend here for Bitcoin. And the trend is going down. This is it. March 16th, yeah. So it's going down a little bit. And let's see here. The Ether scan, if there is anything happening. Sorry, we encounter. Okay, let's refresh. And let's go back. All right. And so now here again, we continue with our 26, almost 27%. Let's see if anybody else has burnt any more tokens. And absolutely, people continue to do so. Even though there's been quite a bit of FUD around Base AI, things continue to work out pretty well anyways. So, all right. Now, okay. So I was thinking for the last few days, man, I haven't been making a video and I've been thinking about this cycle, right? And this cycle seems to be broken? Question mark. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the same as any other one. It's I think that what's been happening this cycle so far is we have a lot of Wall Street money in here. And that was mainly the money that we probably saw. And it would make sense because if you guys noticed, there was like a lot of like money just being cycled from one project to another project to another project. We really didn't see a whole bunch of new money after a certain point. And I think the reason why is because it was just these institution money that were just taking, pumping, grabbing the cash, going to the next one, pumping, grabbing the cash, going to the next one, pumping, grabbing the cash. And that's pretty much what it just kind of looked like. It was just like a recycling of the same liquidity, just moving from one point to another. And then if you notice, most of the movement that's been happening has been happening with Bitcoin. Now, yes, that happens and has happened in previous cycles, but after a certain time, right, you end up having a alt season where money comes out of Bitcoin and goes into more riskier projects, so on and so forth. And by doing that, you grow, your bags that much more exponentially, right, than what you would with Bitcoin. And so that's just pretty much like what's been going through my head, where it's like, wait a minute, like, did retail really ever come? Maybe we had a little bit of retail when Bitcoin, started going up real quick. But I don't think that we ended up having, anything near what we used to have before. Now, with that said, if you guys notice, it's like as this cycle has progressed, right? It's like it just gets like the movements, they just get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Where right now you pump 5% and then you dump, right? And normally we see this, right, in either bear trends or in a bear market, bear cycle, right? Or the bear part of the cycle. And I don't know. I just feel that the institution money, the Wall Street money, they're the ones that are just pretty much, moving whatever percentages, right? And so I think about it and I'm like, okay, well, while most of us here are just sitting waiting for, 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, 100x, I'm not entirely sure that Wall Street is gonna allow us to have that. I think that as we get closer to the end of the 4-year cycle, I don't know if they're going to allow that. Now, if it would be retail, it's a total different story because retail buys and holds, right? And they hold indefinitely, really. But smart money, right? Institution money, Wall Street money, whatever you want to call it. At this point, they pump, 5, 10%. They sell and they take the money out. And you're like probably thinking, well, why in the world would they just do that and then just leave? Well, because that's all they would get for a whole year, really, in the traditional market. So, I mean, to get it in a few hours, in a day, and then run with it, yeah, could they be making exponentially more? Absolutely. But, I mean, and another thing also is there's a lot of uncertainty, right? And that's pretty much what Trump has brought to the game. So far, we don't know what the end game is going to be, what it is that ultimately he's trying to do. Maybe he'll come out with a gauntlet, right? And it's gonna have all the Infinity Stones and just snap his finger and fix everything, right? Of course, that's not gonna happen. But the whole thing is that all the rhetoric, right, and all this bullying that he is doing, with the tariffs and talking all, the macho man talk that he does, it just brings a lot of uncertainty to the market, and and of course, risky assets, they are going to get completely hammered. And we've been seeing that, right? I know some people are going to say, well, you know what? Markets are going to do market things. Cycles are going to do cycle things, cycle low, cycle high, and they're going to come at the right time, whatnot. Fine. Yes, absolutely. But we cannot also discount the fact that we are having some really bad macro environment, and for us to expect things to get any better under that environment, it's pretty difficult. We've been having absolutely incredible news, incredible SEC news coming out, and still nothing seems to break us from this funk that we are in. And so, we're just gonna have to wait for the next FOMC meeting, which I think is going to be in May, because I don't think we're having one next month. But wait, I think we're having one tomorrow on the 18th. Yeah, I think tomorrow on the 18th we're having one FOMC meeting. Then we're not having any in April, and then the next one after that would be in May. And so nothing, I'm not expecting any cuts at all. I'm not expecting for them to hike rates either, especially since we saw that inflation cooled off a little bit. But if trueflation turns out to be correct and we start getting these readings, sooner than later, get ready that, we may be seeing cuts somewhere, the next 2 months, 3 months, maybe. We start seeing maybe the first one. Some analysts are saying that we'll probably have like 3 cuts this year. If that's the case, man, that would be absolutely insane. Now, what would drive this whole thing completely bananas is if we do end up getting cuts tomorrow. I'm telling you, highly unlikely. More than likely, we're going to continue to go down because we'll probably have a hawkish, maybe, Fed. We are hoping for at least a dovish Fed and or a dovish J Powell. If that is the case, then at least the markets might read something positive out of it, and then they'll start adjusting their investment allocations accordingly. But if not, get ready, folks. We are gonna be going further down, and it's not gonna be happy. It's gonna stink. But that's the name of the game. I mean, like I said, if we are in a bear, in the bear part of the cycle again, which, would have come early this time around. If that is the case, well, then we're already what, like 2 months in, 3 months in? What's another, what's another 9 more months? Oh man, that would stink, but I still don't think we are. I still think we are in maybe potentially a bear trap, but definitely somewhat of a bear uh, trend, But I mean, that's that is hopefully the the case that we are just in a trend and hopefully turning around. Maybe sometime this summer we'll have better news, but we will see. Now, I did tell you guys that I have been adding to my Pepecoin stack. I was over 80%, okay, in the red. Yes, I was buying with you guys, buying high, buying in the middle, but I was DCAing. And just with the DCA that I've done, and it hasn't been that much compared to what I was buying, just in that much, I was able to bring down my percentage in the red. I think I brought it down like over 10%, which is pretty significant. I am continuing to buy at these rates because even though I know that Pepecoin could go down further, but everything else could go down further, right? If Bitcoin goes down to the 70 million, oh yeah, 70 million, that would be great. In the 70-ish thousand mark, which a lot of people are saying, and that could be a trap for bears. Just like 120 or 110 was a trap for bulls, right? There's always this situation where people, they just overextend themselves. Oh, Bitcoin is going to go this far down or Bitcoin is going to go this far up. And it never ends up going to the one or the other. And you miss out on the one and on the other. Okay. If you are betting on 150 and Bitcoin is at 140, just take some profit. If it's 150 that you feel that it's gonna hit, what's another $10,000, guys? Like just do you think? Because more than likely they're not gonna let you get to the 150 unless it just blows right by it. You know, that's the thing. And then the same thing goes with those that are trying to catch, any project on the low end. Oh, it's going to go down to 40. Oh, it's going to go down to 30. Oh, it's going to go down to 20. But then what if, and then you don't buy at 30 or at 34 or at 40 or whatever. What if it doesn't get to 20, but you're waiting, you have your capital to deploy at 20 cents and Pepecoin never hits 20 cents. What if it hits 32 cents and you ended up not buying because you just stood on the sideline just waiting for it to hit that number that, the TA is telling you, all the graphs are telling you that that's the next point that it should hit, and then it never goes down, that much more. Then you end up missing out. Then it goes to $1 and you're like, okay, now it's for real. Okay, it's not gonna go back down to 30 cents. Now I gotta catch it at $1. Now in the meantime, you missed already a 3x, right? From that point, and you're kicking yourself over the head. But I mean, that's the name of the game. And I continue to see some people, the views go down during this time, and it makes complete sense. People, they unsubscribe, and which makes complete sense as well, because that just tells everybody that people are losing faith in the projects, everything. I mean, they might be thinking, well, they're losing faith in me, but I mean, I told you guys that it's not financial advice, right? This is never financial advice. I will give you the information of what I think I should invest in if I were to be the one to invest, and I have done so. I always told you guys what I'm doing with my trades, with my purchases, and I still hold fast to that. There's some people that have been able to get a hold of my wallet and they've been able to see, and they could serve as witnesses that I put my money where my mouth is. And so, you know, again, I continue to hold fast to the fact that Pepecoin is going to do well. Right now, my entry, my average, it's really nice, and I really want to get it down even lower. So we'll continue working on that, because when things turn around and we start moving up quite a bit, again, this until we see some true retail coming back in, it's gonna be tough for us to see like any crazy move, because it just Wall Wall Street and all these other entities, they're just gonna move their money quick, and that's not what we need, especially if we're building portfolio for the long haul. Anyways, guys, these are my thoughts. I think that that's probably what's going on. I think that's pretty on point. It's just money is moving quick in and out because it's big money, right? That's doing the moving, and and they still want to make money, even though we are in a pretty risky environment, because there's a lot of uncertainty with Trump. One day saying one thing, the next day potentially changing, then the next day bringing it back, and then this whole back and forth, back and forth. A lot of uncertainty, in this economic war, this trade war of sorts, and but you can't just let money sit on the sideline. These investors, they're gonna put money in and out, and of course they're doing it in TradFi, right? I mean, but they're also gonna try to do it here as well, especially where percentages move very, very, very quick to either the up or the downside. But anyways, I mean, that's just pretty much it, guys. Like I said, I continue to hold my Pepecoin and add to it. I do hold a lot of other stuff, the Bitcoins, the Solana, XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano. I'm not rich by any means, absolutely not. And I've worked on my holdings for the last 4 years, but definitely some of those older tokens are doing a little bit better. Got a little bit of Ondo, and what else? I mean, I don't have BitTensor, nor do I have Caspa. Algorand I do have, and oh yeah, I have Sonic because I used to hold FTM Phantom. So I mean, there's a lot of things that don't put all your money on one token. Fetch also, I'm looking at it. Yeah, so don't put all your eggs right in one basket. Always have a little bit on everything, but if you have conviction, right, on one project over another, maybe you put a little bit more on that, which is what I did with Pepecoin. Practically, I swapped all my Ethereum pretty much for Pepecoin. And, like I said, down quite a bit, but I still do believe that we're going to have very significant gains and at some point in time. I'm telling you, and I told you guys months ago, even if I have to wait for a next cycle, to see, mind-blowing and face-melting gains, I mean, I'm willing to wait it out. But I like for it to be in this cycle, right? Just in the next few months. So, I mean, we'll see. Things do move pretty crazy when they decide to. And if things do end up moving to the upside rather quickly, it will be really, really, really nice. And so, yeah, very nice to see a little bit of green today. This may be short-lived, guys, so just enjoy it for today. Maybe tomorrow, depending on what we get from the Fed, we might be seeing some red, or maybe the people that are buying today, they'll dump later on. Maybe Asia, when they wake up, they'll start dumping. Who knows what's going to happen? But like I said, a lot of uncertainty. The only good thing is that the inflation numbers did come a little bit cooler than what was expected. And at least that should be able to give us, somewhat of an idea of what maybe Jay Powell is going to say. I don't know. We will see. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for the support. I know tough times, but this is a time when we should be sticking together. And I know that, I could say it a million times, and I will say it every single possible time that I can, in every single other videos in the next few months, as long as I see these crazy bargain prices. These are the prices where you purchase and you make life-changing money. Would you rather buy Pepecoin at 44 cents or at $4.45? I know you're going to say 44 cents, but this is what buying in the, when it's fear, this is what it looks like. All these prices that you see here, this is buying in the fear, okay? But I know nobody wants to buy because everybody thinks, oh man, this is all garbage, it's trash, it's a scam, they sold us a lie, and, yada, 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 whatever the case is, Jeters, all the terms, right? The LARPs, that's the other thing, the LARPs that are just pretty much selling something that is garbage or whatnot. But if that's the case, that's the same thing with everything else. I mean, you're looking at projects that were multi-billion dollars, like peanuts, and look at this, less than $200 million. And you're like, yeah, but it's $200 million. Yeah, but think about the people that bought this at $2.7 billion, okay? Where this thing was like $2 and something change. Do you know how much this thing has dropped? Incredible. Think about, sorry, I'm going on a rant here. Think about Pepe. Pepe here is at $3.1 billion, but Pepe was over $10 billion, if I'm not mistaken, at some point in time at the end of last year. Now, yes, they have gone up a little bit, right? But it was sitting at like 2.5 not long ago, from over $10 billion. And then there are people that are saying, oh, everything is a scam. Everything is a scam. Everything is... Guys, all this is what happens. If you're not prepared for this, then you are going to lose. 100% of the time, you're going to lose if you're not prepared for this, because you're going to sell and you're going to realize your losses. That's not the way that you play the game. Now, if you would have taken profit, right? I didn't, honestly. I didn't take any profit. I did take some profits for some projects. I didn't take profits for some others. And so, it is what it is. I should have done better in that end. But then again, we were all, thinking, hey, 2025, this is where things are going to go, exponential. It's going to go crazy. And thinking that we were going to get a regular cycle, and potentially that's still in play. That hasn't changed. We're just seeing these moments where Bitcoin drops 20-30% and it takes everything else with it. So keep that in mind. And also the fact that Ethereum hasn't hit all-time highs this cycle. if this cycle is completely done, you see, even Hershey says, yeah, Ben, he calling bluffs, bro. He is calling bluffs. And so he doesn't buy it that Ethereum is not going to hit all-time highs. I don't buy it either. Solana as well, with just doing barely a little over all-time highs, and then that's it. That's going to be, I don't know. It's either that or we're going to have an extended cycle where now crypto, reflects the regular stock market. And if that's the case, then we go up with the stock market and we go down with the stock market. If that is the case, then maybe we will see this thing is going to just be a continuation from now on. Maybe we won't have bear markets as we used to, but then that means we're not going to have bull markets as we used to either. So I don't know. We will see. There's some people that are thinking that that's probably the case as well. And it's nice to see Bitcoin going up. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for your time. Truly appreciate you. I assure you, sooner or later, we will get out of this and we're going to see a lot of goodness. And then a lot of people are going to come back, okay? And they're going to come back to a Bitcoin that is $120,000, $150,000. Then they're going to come back to a Pepecoin that is, I don't know, $5, $10, $20, maybe even $40. And, and that's going to be the time when they're going to buy. I'm telling you, if I were to invest, the time to invest it now. What if Pepecoin does go down to 20 cents and you're buying it at 40? You're like, oh yeah, but I'm losing 50%. Yes, but the risk, right, is you lose 50% or you could make 500%. I mean, it's up to you. It's the risk right now is so much lower. We're so much closer to a bottom than we are to a top. We were closer to a bottom at $1. We are even closer right now at 44 cents. I mean, it's the way that you weighed it, right? And so there is probably a 20% chance that it goes further down versus an 80% chance that we're gonna go, much, much higher. So at the end of the day, really, it's up to you. See ya in the next video.